Unrivaled reportedly preparing Messi-like offer for Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark. With the WNBA officially in the offseason following a thrilling 5-game finals series, rumblings have begun surrounding the new Unrivaled Women's Basketball League, possibly presenting Caitlin Clark with an unprecedented offer to join for its inaugural season. With Clark capturing the WNBA's Rookie of the Year award and most recently listed as the fourth most marketable global athlete by SportsPro in London, the startup league is reportedly poised to offer Clark a salary exceeding $1 million, as well as equity and revenue-sharing incentives. Front Office Sports' Mike McCarthy broke the news of the possible Messi-like offer from Unrivaled. Started by WNBA stars Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart, the 3-on-3 Women's Basketball League is set to begin its inaugural season in January of 2025 with 6 5-player teams. Fellow stars such as Las Vegas Aces guard Chelsea Gray and Chicago Sky forward Angel Reese have announced their intentions to play in the 6-team league. In terms of compensation, Unrivaled has promised to utilize a sliding pay scale based on the individual player's marketability. The 8-week season would not necessarily pose any interference with Clark's preparation for her sophomore WNBA campaign. Although Clark could spend her off-season training, enjoying leisure activities, and shooting TV commercials, Unrivaled hopes the combination of a high salary, a stake in the league, and the challenge of playing against the world's top female players will be too enticing to ignore. While $1 million is tiny compared to the likes of NBA players, it would be a massive uptick from Clark's base salary of $76,535 during her rookie season with the Indiana Fever. Clark earns most of her income through her sponsorship deals, including her 8-year, $28 million Nike contract. During and since her Hawkeye days, Clark has built an excellent corporate sponsor portfolio, including Nike, State Farm, Gatorade, Wilson, Bose, Buick, and other brands. Contact/follow us Hawkeyes Wire on X and like our page on Facebook to follow ongoing coverage of Iowa news, notes, and opinions. Big Ten Women's Basketball Order of Finish in 2024-25, projected by USA Today Sports Network. The Big Ten's West Coast injection has had a profound impact on the league's women's basketball landscape, arguably more so than any other sport. Particularly with the arrival of USC and UCLA, 2 national title contenders in 2024-25, the Big Ten has never had a more robust women's basketball product than it will this year. Just when the league wrapped up its spotlight run alongside superstar Caitlin Clark, here comes Player of the Year candidate Juju Watkins to grab the baton. A thrilling Big Ten season is undoubtedly ahead. With that, here is the USA Today Sports Network's predicted order of finish for the upcoming Big Ten women's basketball campaign. The poll is comprised of 6 voters who cover the league, which now sits at 18 teams. Elect Caitlin Clark America's next president. Sometime this month will be Election Day in the United States. Hence, I felt responsible for setting the context and offering insights you won't get anywhere else during this unsettling time in American history. We are at crossroads in so many ways: divided, incompatible, vindictive, small-minded, intolerant, manipulative, ill-tempered, outrageous, combustible, vacuous, heavy-handed, withdrawn, dismayed, forlorn, dejected, downtrodden, frustrated, insincere, and vengeful. Besides this, all is well. We might as well come clean about where we are. Get psychologically naked and admit how bad this all makes us feel. The process leading up to electing our next president, Election Day, and all the personal tensions that inevitably dominate every day thereafter. This country was once a powerhouse and may still be, but in the political arena it feels like we're on the ropes, like a boxer taking punches to our heads and then making excuses and whining like 6th graders. And blaming the ref for our problems. We need to think differently about this election, but we know it will never happen because politicians want power much more than being good human beings. We need to forge a new path, break new ground, and change how we do everything. The specifics I'll leave to y'all. You'll figure it out. Being kind is a good starting point. Being candid, this is all the energy I have to expend on anything political, because there is no bigger waste of time. Nothing ever changes. Power pollutes people. So does the lust for it. Back in the 17th century, Shakespeare wrote all about this, and he was as right then as now. Humans are weak when it comes to wanting to control everything. they can't resist it. But America likes some people more than others. Caitlin Clark is the best example. If she ran for president sometime later this month, I would vote for her, and so would 100 million or more Americans, because she stands for what we stand for: working hard, practicing your craft, not offending people, not being petty, being nice to young kids. Being a good person. Why can't we elect people like her? Why can't we elect someone we admire and respect, such as her, who has shown by her actions and words she's doing what we want all Americans to do? She's a citizen of this country who wakes up in the morning, goes to work, and strives for greatness. In stark contrast, politics poisons people. Over the past few weeks, I've been getting bombarded with ads nonstop from candidates shouting interruptive 30-second messages at me about how bad the other candidate is, with maximum vitriol. Feels like, and certainly is, desperation for power. It's shallow. It's beneath American ideals. I would never teach my kid to grow up and make attack ads against his political opponent to win an election. It may work, but so do fraudulent scams against older adults, but that doesn't make them right. I care about people treating each other with more dignity rather than hostility, with the intent to hurt and discourage. This isn't asking for that much. But we rarely get it. Not in politics. None of us are proud of this back-and-forth immature behavior. Yet we all know 4 years from now, the same personal attacks will be hurled and we'll be the targets. Step aside, politicians. Elect Caitlin Clark. America needs her much more than you. It was an up-and-down season for head coach Christy Sides and the Indiana Fever. There were the highs of selecting the #1 overall pick Caitlin Clark and a playoff berth. The lows of a rough start to the regular season and inconsistent play. The lows turned out to be too much for the Fever. ESPN reports that the Indiana Fever have parted ways with head coach Christy Sides. She was hired by the Fever in 2022 and had 2 years remaining on her contract. Under Sides, the Fever went 33-47, including 20-20 this past season, and made the WNBA playoffs for the first time since 2016. The Fever's season ended with a 2-game sweep from the Connecticut Sun. The Fever got off to a rough start during the regular season as Clark and 2023 #1 overall draft pick Aaliyah Boston learned to play together. The Fever went 1-8 during May, playing the toughest schedule in the WNBA, according to ESPN. But after June 1, the Fever went 18-9, the third-best record in the league. ESPN reports that whoever coaches the Fever will have Clark and Boston back in 2025. All-star guard Kelsey Mitchell is a free agent that the Fever hopes to resign.